Going to welcome everybody back from the break. Sounds like folks are having lots of good conversations, which is a good thing. Again, it's all about being curious. Do want to take a moment to make sure we also recognize our students from Portland Community College that are here and our students from, go ahead. And our students from Clackamas Community College that are also here. Yay. Go Cougars. So, if you kind of look at your schedule of activities for today, we started off with just a little bit of kind of sprinkling in some seeds, things that you can start to be thinking about over the next few days. And of course, like any good seed, you have to water it and give it additional nutrients and temperature in order for it to grow and blossom into a wonderful flower. And that's a process that takes a little bit of time. What we need to start, like a seed generally starts with those internal nutrients that it can use to do some of that early germination and growth, and then it starts to pull in some external nutrients so that it can continue to develop. So our next activity is going to be some of that kind of more introspective seed position. So we're going to take a little bit of time to kind of think about internally, what are some things that you enjoy doing? What are some things that are maybe a little bit more problematic, things that you may feel a little bit, uncomfortable with? We're going to spend a little bit of time in that space, and then after lunch, we'll navigate into some spaces to kind of see what other people's interactions with research looks like, and you can kind of use some of that introspective work to see how it connects and aligns with the panel and their experiences in research. And then you can also start to use that to look at our events later in the day where you're looking at what it looks like to develop a research question and start to develop that research path. So you'll have some of that inner work in mind as you look at how this connects with research and how to move forward. And then as we get to later days, we'll have a lot more of those outside nutrients that you can use to help you develop and flourish as that wonderful plant we want y'all to all grow into. So with that, I'm going to welcome Carlos and Becky up for our next panel.
It's just going to be me on this session. So one of the things that I value about Build Exito is the cohort community and the process that we do where we have students come in and they're working with each other for 3 years and they build up these relationships. And one of the big things is like getting to know each other. I know that all of you here may not know one another. Some of you have come together as groups. But the reality is if you're interested in research and you're interested in this community and pursuing a PhD or a doctorate and doing research and getting funding of your own, a lot of you are going to be collaborating with one another in the future. 10 years from now, you might be collaborators on a research grant. So it's always good to build those connections, to network, to get to know one another. And it's really important. And if you're in programs like LSAMP and McNair and all the other ones that we mentioned today, those relationships will help you get through those programs. Because it's hard. Some of you are going to be working full time. Some of you, have families and you're going to school and doing research. And so that cohort model is really helpful and helps students kind of like get through it together and support one another when they have the highs and the lows. So one of the things we started doing a couple of years ago is the Rose, Thorn, and Bud discussion and project that we kind of put together. So one of the things that we really like is that it allows students to kind of get to know one another. It also starts helping you kind of ask those questions, get to know one another, and kind of like building relationships. So let's get awkward together, and we'll go ahead and start. So as you can see, the fully bloomed rose is the gratitude. And that can be like a highlight, a success, or something that is positive that's happened in your life. It could be something that's recent. It could be something that's happened in the past. But that's the rose. So, we'll take a few minutes to do the rose first. You can talk amongst your groups. And then anyone that wants to share, like take 30 seconds to share their rose. That would be great. Then we'll do a reflection, and that's the thorn. And the thorn can be something that you've been, struggling with. Or like, for example, like for me, my thorn right now is I have my master's degree, but I'm really struggling to figure out what I'm going to get my doctorate in. And I have, imposter syndrome still. There's still a part of me who's like, should I get a doctorate? Do I have it, like, the capacity to, like, be a full-time dad and work full-time and still get my doctorate? I know, thank you. So one of the things I've been doing is I've been, talking to people that I trust and value, and they're helping me kind of work through these thoughts and questions that I'm having. And then the hope, is potential new ideas or something that you're looking forward to knowing or understanding more. So what we'll do is we'll go ahead and start. So in your tables, and I know someone's gonna have to be the courageous person that goes first, but talk about what you have gratitude for. So let's start off by something fun and talk about what you have gratitude for. I could just share mine. I was just down in LA, and I'm going to be getting married, and this is something that's, for me, is a rose. Because I was partnered for 12 years. That person passed away, unfortunately, over 5 years ago. But there was a session, like there was a season in life. I was like, will I ever meet someone that I actually want to spend my life with again? And I did. And I went down to meet her mom, and she actually liked me. So that was totally a rose for me. So I have a lot of gratitude for that. So what we'll do is I'll start a timer. We'll just do about 5 to 7 minutes. Please share amongst your peers what your rose is, and then I'd love to hear someone share what their rose is with the whole group. Okay? We can start. I'll start the timer. No, you gotta take a better one. Yeah. There we go. Okay, so that's been 7 minutes. Hopefully, everybody's got an opportunity to, share with one another what they've been grateful for and what their, rose is. So now we need a few other courageous people to share their rose with the entire ballroom. So Arjun has a microphone. So we got a taker right there. Okay.
My name is Casey. Most people call me Skittles because of the rainbow hair. My gratitude that I have, my rose, was getting accepted into OSU and starting in the fall for me in earth science and climate and minoring in geology.
That's awesome. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations. Anybody else want to share their rose? Oh, we got someone else in the back.
My name is actually Rose, so This is kind of perfect for me. My success is that I actually passed my chemistry class, which was extremely hard, honestly, but woo! All right.
That's awesome. As an academic advisor, I hear that chemistry is very hard, all the time. Study groups. Okay, anybody else would like to share? One more. Is there a taker? Oh, one in the back. Tie. There's a tie. Yeah.
Hi, my name is Hannah. I'm an infant hearing screener for Kaiser, and one of my friends just got hired on, and so I get to train her, and I'm really excited to have someone I know working with me. So
That's great. Thank you. All right. So hopefully this, these prompts are helping you get to know a little bit about one another, and hopefully it starts to allow you to get a little bit more comfortable and build relationships. So now we're gonna move into the thorn, right? Something that's been a challenge for you. So let's take the next 7 minutes. You could talk about that, and then we'll have another few people maybe speak about what their thorn is. Okay? It's not as bad as you think. It's not as bad. Okay. So, thorn. Who would love to share their thorn or their reflection on some of the challenges that they're having? It's really easy to talk about the rose, right? Okay, we have someone up here. Yeah.
Hi, my name is David. And my thorn, I'm sure a lot of people can relate to, is learning how to get back out of my house and out of my comfort zone thanks to the pandemic.
Yeah, I completely agree. Becky and I were both saying, like, this is so weird. Like, we're in the room with all these people. And I do promise that eventually we will be talking about research. So later on in the programs today, we have researchers. So we won't be just doing connection stuff. So.
Hi, my name is Neil. My thorn is kind of it's networking, connecting with people, socializing, and communicating with people, and then keeping up with them afterwards. That's a huge problem for me, among others. But
Thank you. Okay, a few more people who would love to share. We got Skittles.
Hello. As you know, with the pandemic and everything, I am a mother of two, and my husband is a construction worker. And because of the pandemic, he was out of work. So finances was a huge struggle the last few years, and also trying to do the whole online schooling thing while two kids are running around, which was pretty nutty. And so that was my struggle, was finances and trying to make sure everybody was staying sane inside, you know, and keeping distancing and whatnot. So that was my struggle.
Well, I empathize being a single dad at one point and, having two kids at home doing online learning. Yeah. My son was really good at acting like he was doing work, and then at the end of the term, I was like, "So you have all this projects?" And I worked everything out. He's like, "I didn't do any of it." I was like, "What?" I'm like, "I saw you sitting at the table for hours doing work." He's like, "Yeah, I wasn't actually doing anything." So we spent a lot of weekends catching up. So anybody else want to share? Maybe one or two more people who wants to share. I know there's got to be someone dying to share. Okay, two people in the back. We'll start with Blue Mask.
Hi, my name's Emma. Something I've really been struggling with is balancing work and school. In order to support myself, I've only been able to take one or two classes a term. So I'm just really struggling with imposter syndrome and feeling behind everyone else, but doing my best.
Thank you for sharing that. One of the things that really helped me is build Exito. I've, as I mentioned earlier, I struggle with imposter syndrome, even though I have a master's degree and I work in a great program. And but Dr. Crespo has shared multiple times, sometimes I feel like I don't belong here, or I have imposter syndrome too. And here's a person that's had over $40 million worth of grants, and he feels the same way I feel at times. So that's one of the great things about community. Partnership and getting to know people and networking, you realize that you actually have a lot more in common than you do. So we have another person in the back.
Hello, my name is Terry, and I just wanted to say that time management as a neurodivergent person has been my biggest thorn.
Thank you. Okay, so let's go ahead and start the hope, the bud. So what is something that's kind of exciting you, and what's some of the hope that you have that's going to be, let's say, for this upcoming academic year, or some research interests, or something personal? It's up to you. But let's spend a few more minutes on this, and then we'll close out with a couple of people sharing, and then we'll move into our next activity. Okay. Who would love to share about the hope that they're having? The bud. Are we saying that we've only had roses and thorns in our lives? There's no buds? Okay. Skittles? Go 3 for 3.
So my potential hope is to eventually get a research team crazy as me to go investigate severe weather anomalies globally, and to figure out how, we can fix this climate issue we're having. So that's kind of my hope.
Brandy, I saw that you had your hand up.
Hi. Well, I'm Brandy, she, her. So I'm feeling very hopeful because I dragged my 2 10-year-old couch potatoes and made them run a 5K, and so that's really optimistic for my work-life balance when I start my grad program. So feeling very hopeful about regaining mobility lost during the pandemic.
Just to share, Brandy is an Exodo scholar that graduated from our program and heading to OHSU, right?
Years ago, I learned about something that was too good to be true. I basically heard a sales spiel on YouTube about something called Lifter, liquid fluoride thorium reactors. It is all of the promise that I heard about nuclear power when I was a kid, plus none of the downsides. And my immediate reaction was, this is too good to be true. So being an engineer, I dug in deep to find out where I was being lied to, what was wrong, what was being left out. There wasn't anything. It turns out it is true. So my hope is that we can overcome some of the emotional aspects of people's perceptions of nuclear power. We can overcome some of the propaganda and some of the outright lies that are floating around there and that seem to define a lot of what people think of nuclear power. And we can basically add the answer to our energy needs, and actually even our climate, our CO2, and most interestingly, our radioactive waste problems, that we can actually get that moving. My hope is to save the planet, save the species, save the world with nuclear power. The only question is, can we convince enough people? Can we overcome the stigma and the misinformation and the emotional convictions people have? And my hope is that we can.
Thank you. All right. Well, I hope the session was a great opportunity for you to get to know your classmates and other folks on campus that you may have not met before. And just get comfortable. We're going to be here for another 2 days. We do have some stuff actually about research and not just getting to know you. So when we do come back from lunch, we'll have a panelist of researchers that are going to kind of share what it's like to work in the lab every day. So it'll be a panel, and you'll be able to ask questions as well. So now we'll just head into lunch. It's provided, and we'll be back, let's see here, at 1:30.